Hi, everybody. I would just like to share a little bit about my story. Before Plexus, I had kind of got out of control with eating, and I had some health issues along with that. So, really quick, not only was I overweight, which I have lost 65, 67 pounds so far, which is really awesome. And but I had some health issues. I had trouble with stomach issues. I had sinus problems. I had migraines. I had skin problems, sleeping problems, and all of the practically everything on the Candida list was things that I've suffered with and just didn't get it. You know, what was going on, of course, chronic yeast infections, UTIs over the years. Uh, but it just got to the point to where I just wasn't able to function a lot of times, you know. I was just like barely dragging myself around. So and then some anxiety too. So Plexus has hit like every mark, and I have tried multiple things in the past. Everything from Jenny Craig to other products I won't mention, and I would have some success, but nothing like Plexus. The probiotics, the prebiotics, the pink drinks, and now we have two choices. It's just been a game changer for me, and especially the sinuses, because I struggle with that, as Lori Mouse shared, since I was 8 or 9 years old. So she really realized that, and that's huge. So anyway, that's pretty much my story. I have energy, I've lost weight, I have control, you know, more control with my cravings. That's the other thing, you know, is it was huge.
Oh, he's going to be so cruising with that.
So anyway, I am a happy camper.
That is awesome, Carol. I love it. And I love kind of the rest of your story too, is that you shared it with your best friend, Lori, that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
And now you two are sharing it and helping change so many lives.
Yes, I forgot to say about the business side of it. So yes, just sharing with friends is, and meeting all of you guys and getting to go to convention. Oh my gosh, you know,
Yeah.
I would have been sitting here waiting, and Lori's like, let's do this, you know. So what a blessing, and can't wait to meet everybody.
Thank you, Carol. That is awesome. I just love your story that you get to do this with your best friend since you were, what, 8 years old? How fun is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
49.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you're aging backwards, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's
all right. So who wants to go next? Raise your hand if you want to go next. Tell your story. Tammy, go ahead.
Cute. There we go. Okay. Well, I relate to the sinus and allergies. I've had those for a long, long time. I've been to specialists, been to doctors, been Indianapolis, been everywhere, nothing. And I would go on antibiotics every year for them. And this is going to sound funny, but I was on a cruise and I was in excruciating pain. And so I went to the acupuncture, which was a Chinese doctor, and filled out the little form and told him the different things that I had going on with me. And he pulled out this little chart, and it has a human body, and it's got all these little lines going from the stomach on up. I thought, oh, he's crazy, telling me that it's my stomach. And he asked me if I drank lemon water, and I'm like, well, I did start drinking lemon water, and he's told me some things I didn't even tell him. So it was like he knew what he was talking about. So I thought, well, okay, so it's your stomach. So what do you do now? Well, later on, I went to the ear, nose, and throat because I was in excruciating pain still. I'm like, these sinuses I've got an infection, and went to her, and it cost me $1,000 just to walk in the door there, and $600 to see this specialist for her to tell me I had acid reflux and that it all comes from your gut. Well, then I saw Melinda's post on how she started doing Plexus, and she had allergies and sinus infections, and started doing Plexus, and started getting really curious because I'm really tried everything. I tried nose sprays. I've even had surgery. I mean, I've done it besides stand on my head. And I can't take, none of the allergy medicine works. I can't spray anything up my nose anymore, and just have had it. And I'm like, I'm going to try Plexus, and this is it. And I've been doing it since the end of September, and I did start feeling a little better. I sleep a little better. I don't have so much problems with my acid reflux, and the good.
That's
I
so
don't know
awesome.
if I lost any weight.
That's awesome. You did great. Okay, who wants to share their story next? Lori.
All right. Well, I was desperate for a solution because when I started, I had extremely high blood pressure that wasn't being controlled even with my medication. I had horrible stomach issues that went undiagnosed, have had issues since I was in my early 20s, and I'm 47 now. And they would say, oh, it's not your gallbladder, you're fine. And I'm like, well, then why am I in so much pain? And so I saw a gastroenterologist right before I started Plexus, and he was actually going to remove my gallbladder because he said everything presents as it's your gallbladder, even though you don't have any stones, and it's functioning fine, because I'd had HIDA scans, I'd had the ultrasounds, I've had everything like multiple times over the years. And so he was going to do the surgery. And so then, I mean, I was in so much pain, it would put me out for a couple of days from work even. So I had that going on, had horrible, horrible anxiety, started the products, and I was, had seen Rebecca posting. It did not take me long to jump on board. I was skeptical, but she had sent me the information. Of course, she had to follow up with me a few times because I just didn't pay any attention to it. And so I finally read it, and I'm like, well, it makes sense. I worked in corporate health and wellness for 9.5 years. So I knew a little bit about what was what with the products and how things worked. So I jumped on board. I joined just because of the cheapest pricing. And I was like, well, if I even take it for 2 months, then it's worth the join fee. So I did, jumped right in, and within 2 days, I quit drinking Diet Coke, and I probably drank over 80 ounces of soda a day and maybe this much water to wash down my medicine. About 3 weeks in, I had normal blood pressure readings with my medication. Not consistent, so I still was on my medication, and my doctor was very cautious of taking me off just because of where my readings had been. But it was getting better, because even with my meds, my numbers were so high. So finally, I was able to come off my medications. My husband and family noticed I wasn't so cranky. Shortly after starting, they actually made the comment, you're not as cranky as you used to be. I wasn't downing anxiety medicine 2 and 3 times a day. I wasn't taking, pain medicine and seeing the chiropractor because the inflammation was being reduced in my body. So I noticed a lot of health improvements. I never went and got my gallbladder out. So it wasn't a gallbladder issue. It was a gut health issue. I'm convinced of that. I've had flare-ups, but they're not lasting days. It's like a couple hours and boom, I'm fine. I just pop an extra Probio 5, or, it's something I had eaten or something, and it's few and far between rather than like every couple of weeks or whatever. And that was going on for over 20 years, and it couldn't be touched by anything. So I've lost over 30 pounds and kept it off. But most of all, it's just inflammation. My health testimony is amazing. I didn't try a lot of different products before. I counted points and tried working out, which didn't feel good to my body. So I didn't do it consistently. So that's my health testimony. I'm a Ruby ambassador working towards Senior Ruby. I've been able to go on vacations that I never thought were possible. Have been able to travel more than, and have like girls trips and friends trips that have been amazing. Have met so many wonderful friends that some I don't think I would have ever met had it not been for this opportunity. The community is amazing, and financially it's been a blessing. So that is pretty much my testimony in a nutshell.
Great. That is so awesome, Lori. I just love it. You know, I remember when Lori joined, we had this conversation on the phone, and she's all about what makes sense and numbers. And, you know, she's like, well, it's just, you know, a better deal to join for the cheaper price, the wholesale, kind of like a Costco membership. And I think I remember talking to you about if you'd share it or not. Oh, I don't know that I'll do that. But then she told me her blood pressure was normal. I was like, you got to share that with somebody. Put that out on Facebook, right? And so
yes, she did challenge me to post that, and I'm like, nobody is going to care.
And what happened with that?
I got 13 messages from just posting that.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. It was amazing. It's been a wonderful journey.
Yes. I mean, you know, that's just a lot of us, if you're tuning into this and you're thinking, okay, I just want to get the products and see if it helps me. I have no desire to do a business. That's okay. Like, you should know that most of us on here, if not all of us, actually, now that I'm looking at everybody, like, not very few of us in our whole team, our whole organization, like, set out to do a business. Usually it's just that we see that the products help, we see that they change lives, they change our own life, we start changing others if we share it, even just a tiny bit. It changes people's stories. And that's the whole idea of tonight, of us sharing our stories with you. So hopefully you'll be inspired by this and realize that if you are looking to improve your health or your finances too, this is an opportunity to change your story for sure. I know Lori, when she joined, she had just taken a work at home job. She was, I think, driving like an hour there and an hour back, a long commute. She lives in Indiana. And she was like, I just took a pay cut. Maybe this will help, you know, like fill in the gap from the pay cut I just took. And, you know, it wasn't long before it did help fill in the gap for that difference in her pay. And, you know, now it's really blessed their family. You know, she's a Ruby. Once you're Senior Ruby, that's one step away from Emerald. And being a jewel in the company, there's Emerald, Sapphire, Diamond. That's substantial money. Being an Emerald is a six-figure earner. And Lori is getting close to being one step away from that. And so never underestimate, I would say never underestimate what God can do through you. You know, just by simply sharing your story and sharing the stories of other people that have been blessed by Plexus, it can be a little bit of income for your family. I mean, $500 a month or $300 a month, that's life-changing money. I know that it was for us when we first started. And I know for so many, it is life-changing money for them. And so you can really make it as big or as little as you want, but it is a gift, and that's why we share it. So I want to hear from, go ahead. Yeah.
Can I just add one more thing? Because you said, you mentioned that, you mentioned something about me working from home. I still do work from home full time. So it's totally possible to do this as your extra income. If you're, you know, if someone's looking for a part-time job, it doesn't make sense for me to drive that far for a part-time job making minimum wage. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of it, is that I can do this from my computer and my phone and be with my family.
Absolutely. I mean, she's right. You know, like, you can do this while you work a full-time job or a part-time job. Most of the people in Plexus are doing that. And it's just a matter of what could a little side income, residual income month after month do for you and your family. All right, who wants to go next? Jennifer, take it away, girl.
Can you hear me? Okay. I'm at the gym, so yes, I did run my daughter to track, and so then it's so hot, so there's a gym close by, so so you're gonna hear the music in the background. I apologize. You know, the motivation. We gotta, you know, do our Zumba. But anyways, my story is I've been with Plexus over 2.5 years, and I joined because I already started on a healthy journey with another MLM company, and their prices kept going up on their products, and it was almost, I wasn't making anything, and so it was getting out of my reach where I could not afford these products. But I knew how much, I already started doing some research about gut health, and I knew how much I needed these products because I didn't sleep at night. I needed to take, you know, over-the-counter sleeping medication to knock myself out. And then you wake up and you feel like you're like a broken zombie because you're doing that where you don't feel like you slept at all, but you did sleep and you feel broken. Something's wrong. And that was my pattern for years. And I didn't go to the bathroom properly. We talk about going to the bathroom a lot. You know, I might have went every other day, especially if I traveled, forget it. I wouldn't go for days. You know, it was bad. It was really bad. And, you know, you kind of just live your life like that's normal, and it's not, until I started doing the research. And then one day I was with the other MLM company. I saw somebody post, not really a close friend, posted about Plexus. And so I Googled it, and I found somebody in Peoria, Arizona, and I just messaged her saying, hey, I want to try that 7-day trial. Because I'm like, my products are getting too expensive, and I want to see what this pink drink is all about. And so I noticed, like, you know, it wasn't huge changes right away, but I noticed like my energy was better, and I started sleeping a little bit better. But once I got on the triplex, it was phenomenal. I sleep all night now. I have lasting energy. I go to the bathroom. I mean, I have so much energy now. I'm at the gym now. This is my second time today. So talk about energy. It doesn't stop in that Metabird. Oh my gosh. If you're not on it, you got to get on that stuff. But yes, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I didn't want to jump into another company because I didn't want to be one of those people where, you know, people are going to look at me like, oh, she's selling jewelry now, and she's selling, you know, something else now. What is she selling? I didn't want to be that person because I really, truly care about people. And so I went to Super Saturday. So I was on the products about 2 months, and I went to Super Saturday, and that's where it changed. Because I could see how much I could change people's lives, because my life started to change. And that's so worth it, because my whole family is obese. Not one member of my family is not obese. And I have to battle that constantly. And I don't want them to suffer, you know, when you don't have to. I don't want them to not sleep, and I don't want them to, you know, I want them to have energy. And I mean, oh, that's just my heart. I just want to help everybody. So, but Plexus is the real deal. I wouldn't be on this product for 2.5 years if they haven't done wonders for my life. So, but, sorry. No, I was just going to say, it's just, oh, and once I started sharing, I haven't paid for my product since. So it's been a real blessing. So I get my whole family products now, like, you know, my husband and my 2 daughters. So
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Jennifer. And I think we caught most of it. It was a little bit choppy at the gym. That's okay. I'm glad you shared your story. And I love that, you know, you see this as an opportunity to help people that you love and care about and your family. And I love to, I mean, share just a tiny bit about just, not that, you know, like, how unique is the Plexus culture, would you say? Because you've been a part of another MLM company. What's the difference that you see as far as Plexus and the culture and the atmosphere?
Oh, totally different. Like, I went to their conferences a couple times. the top leader would like not message us where we're supposed to meet. They totally like shunned us because we didn't dress like they did. We didn't walk like they did. It was really sad. You just kind of felt like you were nothing. And, you know, here we spent all these money on these conferences and we would just hang out alone. And it was just, it was sad. It was a sad culture. And I was like, I hope this other company is not like this. And it hasn't been. Oh my gosh, Plexus, like all you guys are my friends. You know, I could call you and say, pray for me today. I'm having a hard day. Or it's just so much different. And, you know, I have lasting friendships now. It's just, it's amazing. And Rebecca, you're amazing. So, and you're an amazing leader. So we're blessed.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet, Jennifer. But I mean, I love that part of your story. Like, I mean, it just shows that our culture really is different. We hear that all the time. Like, there's always going to be people think the grass is green. They might go to another opportunity. We've even had people leave our company and come back, or people that are in different companies and they come to Plexus. They can't believe the difference of just how accepting we are of every person, no matter what walk of life, what religion, what culture, what anything. Like, we just want to help people. And that's really the heart of Plexus that you see. We're not a Christian organization, but there's a lot of people that have a strong faith. And, that's part of it is like, we just want to bless people's lives and help them with the two things that people worry about, their health and their finances. Thanks for sharing, Jennifer. Okay, who wants to go next?
I can go.
Okay.
I wish I knew I was going to say something because I would have written it down. I'm going to be all over the place. Plexus kind of fell on my lap. I was looking for something, I guess a plan B, because I didn't know if I was going to quit my job. That's a long story. So I went to my friend Sally and asked her about something else. And she said, well, Rose, I don't sell that stuff. I do Plexus. Well, I've seen her post and of her drinking her Slim. And I said, I don't do meal replacements. I like to chew my food. And she said, oh, that's not what it is. And she started explaining how it's helped her family. And everything she mentioned, I was thinking in my head, I need to tell my sister about this. I need to tell my mom about this. I need to tell this friend about it. And it really intrigued me. But I told Sally, I said, I'm not rushing into anything. I need to go home and think about it and pray about it. And I did go home and pray about it. And the very next morning, went to church, and a friend came to me, and I hadn't seen her in a while, and she had gained a lot of weight. And she was sharing with me how she was hurting here and hurting there and not feeling good. And I said, you need to go talk to Sally. She's got these amazing products. And she didn't seem interested, so I didn't say anything. And that evening she called me and she said, how do I get the stuff? What stuff? And then it hit me that she was talking about Plexus. So I said, let me get a hold of Sally. And I called Sally and I said, Sally, sign me up. I've got my first customer. So that's how I started. And then I started the products, and little by little, I started noticing things, the energy, sleeping better. I suffered with restless leg syndrome since I was 2 years old. That's pretty much gone. Although my husband a few weeks ago said, you haven't gotten rid of the restless legs, but it's 95% better. I'll take that. Allergies, I was on all sorts of medication for allergies. I am not taking anything, and I have no issues with allergies for 3 years now. What else? I've had issues going to the bathroom as well. Now I'm going at least once a day. I can't think of it. I have high cholesterol. I was 257, and now I'm at 210. So, well, at least that was a year ago. I'm due for my blood work this week. So I'll wait to mention.
Awesome. Very good, Rose. You know, I love you. You hit a good point about sometimes we think that these products can cure something completely, like 100%. And so I'll just throw out our little disclaimer right now. I probably should have done it before we started. But, you know, we don't claim to cure and treat diseases or illnesses. But what we have seen happen a lot is that it helps with the symptoms of different health issues. And so, you know, gosh, I mean, I would call that a win if it's helping you 95% better with your restless leg syndrome. And, you know, the thing that we want to emphasize too is it takes time. You know, sometimes it might take months before you see a big difference in whatever ails you. You know, sometimes you may feel a little cruddy before you feel better, and that's called detox. Your products are all about gut health, blood sugar, and inflammation. Those three key things are why people are sick and tired. And so if you've been really sick and tired for a long time, you may not feel fantastic the first week or month even that you take the products. That's why all of our products have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So you can literally try our products, and if you don't like it, you just call up customer service, say, I want my money back, and they don't even ask you any questions. They give you your money back. They don't even ask you to return the products. If you still have some, half a bag of Slim, you still keep it. But we want to encourage people to really use the products consistently, daily, not once a week, or if you want vacation, leave it at home. Like, you have to use it consistently for them to work. And ideally, we want you to give it 3 months, 3 to 6 months. Because, I mean, when you think about it, if you've been on any kind of prescription medication ever in your life, you know, the doctors will put you on a prescription med, and then what do they want to do? They want to check your labs in 3 months or 6 months or every year. They're not expecting it to be an overnight quick fix. And so a lot of times people associate Plexus with, well, it's just going to be a quick fix. I just want to lose weight. This is going to be a quick thing. It's not necessarily. You know, you may have some quick results, you may not. We have different products that we can, you know, adjust or swap out and try something different. Every body is different. But I want to encourage people that are watching this to know that if you have a little detox to go through, it's not pleasant at first. Stick with it. Talk to your person that introduced you to Plexus and work through it with them, because how many of you out there can guarantee that it is worth it, right? Because we all have an incredible story to share now. And so I just want to encourage you with that. All right, here we have.
Can I add something to that?
Mm-hmm.
When 4 months after I started, I went and had my blood work done. And I was so excited to see my cholesterol go down. It went up. And I did some research, and because my blood sugars were being balanced, it threw my body for a loop, and it just needed to readjust. So shortly after that, I think 6 months after that, I went back for blood work, and it went down drastically.
I'm glad you shared that, Rose. I remember that and about your story. And, you know, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you might gain a little weight. You might have some wacky numbers at first, or some wacky blood sugars if you're diabetic. My husband's a diabetic. I can tell you that these products have been incredible for him and all these other different issues. But you have to give it time and consistency. So don't give up right before your miracle. Your miracle might be the next month, right? Okay, who wants to go next? I think we've got Sherry and Sarah. Sarah, Sherry's going to be last. All right, girl.
I tried waiting to the end because when you said we all were going to share, I was thinking about all the ways that I could go about sharing my story. And it's so interesting to hear all the people go before me because they have a lot of similarities in their story, and mine is different in the sense that I started this for the business. And though I have seen income come from it, it came at a place where I was expecting it to be that quick fix, and God had other plans. And He said that I needed to do a lot of heart searching and motivation searching and people loving. And so I started, and I was sticking with it, sharing for 2 years or so. And then I felt like I just dropped off the face of the planet on all fronts. And I needed that extra time to really dig into why I wanted this, because um, the why is really important. And I knew that, but I didn't know how to find my why right. And so during my break, I did a lot of praying and a lot of Bible reading and a lot of time in the Word and really digging into the hard things of my heart. And it just changed. It was just like God has always told me that this is where I needed to be, and this was the tool that I was going to use. And this is still the business I'm going to have a business in. And aside from that too, I've gained so much more than just health and money in this. I've gained so many relationships, which is something I did not want, because it meant that I needed to be vulnerable with people and people had to get to know me. And I didn't want people to know me. Because it's hard to, to share yourself with people. Um, and, and as far as my health goes, the break was really important too, because the first 2 years I did this journey, I got to a place where the things that had changed in my health were my normal things. And I had forgotten what it felt like to have your head pound, or to wake up and really need that nap. Like, you're pounding coffee or energy drinks or anything that you can to sustain you throughout the day. And I forgot what it felt like to get a good restful sleep. And I forgot what it felt like to not crave all these bad, sugary, addictive things. And so by stopping everything, literally everything, I was able to remember those things. And so coming back, it was like I could see the changes happening again. And so it just reaffirmed that these products do really work. And you do have to give them time. And if you're not looking to grow friends, this probably isn't the place for you, because everyone's going to love you and support you, and they're going to want to be in your business so they can help you. And if you're looking for a business, again, there's nothing better than having that community where people are willing to share their stories and be vulnerable with you so you can help somebody who has a similar story to them. So I guess that's my story.
Oh, that's so great, Sarah. We're just so glad that you've come back. We could just do cartwheels because, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Like, if you decide to go for whatever reason, we always welcome everybody back with open arms. And it's incredible, like you said, like you stopped the products for a while and you missed them and you came back. We've had some people do that in this team. And it's great because then you see the value of it that much more, and it makes you that much more passionate to share it. Not that I recommend leaving, please don't. But we're just so glad that you came back. And thank you so much, Sarah, for your story. I know you've grown a lot on this journey personally.
Thank you. To go along with, you're right. Nobody should stop any of the good things. Yeah. But so anyone who hears this and is starting, my highest recommendation for you would be to keep a journal. Before you even begin, because at first for me, I didn't even know that I had issues. I didn't realize that when my head hurt, that was a problem. I didn't realize waking up and being tired was a problem. All these kinds of things, I didn't realize I was unhealthy. So try to think about those things that you suffer with before you start. And then as you start and you go through those detox things, make note of those so that you never forget those things and have to do it all over again.
That is great, Sarah. That's awesome. Okay, Sherry.
Can you guys hear me okay out here or not? Because it's really kind of loud.
We hear you great. You're out at the horse stables, right?
Well, I am, and I stepped in the tack room, so it's like 110 out here. So I am really hot and lovely looking. But anyways, I started Plexus about 2 years ago because my neighbor Tracy had me try the little pink drink. I'd never heard of it before. But I had been in the hospital in October, November of 2016 for 5 days after a couple ER visits just because I was so sick, had a horrible virus of some kind. They never did figure out what was wrong, and I had so much stomach pain, so much vomiting, just felt horrible, and felt horrible months after I came home. And I had already been seeing a naturopath doctor who had me on a bazillion supplements, costing me quite a bit much more than what I pay now for my Plexus. So my naturopath is actually the one that started me on my journey about how important gut health was. But I didn't really understand or get it until I joined Plexus. And I joined for the wholesale price just because I liked the best bang for my buck. I had no intention of sharing. I had no intention of even thinking about doing it as a business. I had tried 4 other multi-level marketing companies in the past, and it was a horrible disaster, and I wasn't going to do that again. However, after a couple of months of this, I had several friends come up to me and ask, "What are you doing? You just look so much better. You look like you feel better. You're thinner. Your face looks better." So I shared with them a little bit and actually got 5 people to sign up in 1 month without even trying. So then I kind of looked into it a little more. So the reason that I wanted to start in the first place was for my health. I am, by profession, I was a NICU nurse, neonatal ICU nurse for like 30 years, and I did the night shift most of those 30 years, so I was truly exhausted. I had been sleep deprived for many years and just never took care of myself, and I ended up being sick all the time. I have really bad allergies and asthma after moving down here too, and I would literally get a respiratory infection and my asthma would kick in so bad I could not stop coughing, and I would be on all kinds of steroids and all kinds of medicines and antibiotics, and I would miss work for 1 to sometimes up to 2 weeks at a time because I would just be so sick and so bad. So since I've started all these products, I have not had 1 asthma exacerbation, which I can't tell you how great that is. I was horrifically exhausted all the time. I would sleep every afternoon for a couple of hours, but then I would be so exhausted at night and want to sleep, but I couldn't fall asleep, which was awful. And I have a husband with sleep apnea who snores, so even if I was almost ready to go to sleep, I still couldn't sleep because I would hear that. After probably about 3 months of Plexus products, I slept so soundly. I slept all night long. I'd fall asleep within 10 minutes and not wake up throughout the night like I used to. I cannot tell you how life-changing that is for me. And also just the improved health is huge. I don't work in the NICU anymore. I don't do nights, but I do late night shifts. I don't get home till 12 or 1:30 in the morning. And that's the time I get home, not the time I go to bed. And during the school year, I'm still up at 6 in the morning, getting my kid off to school, and I still have enough energy to get through the day. Am I a little tired? Yes, but I'm not exhausted like I used to be. It makes such a huge difference. And I'm really loving that MetaBurn. I almost like that better than the accelerator, I think. So it has made a huge difference for me. I missed 1 day of work last year. The last day of work I missed was actually for vomiting because that's what was going around at the time. And that's 1 day in May last year. I haven't missed a day of work since. And since I started Plexus, 2 days total is what I've missed, in spite of the fact that I work at a really busy pediatric urgent care, and all the kids have all kinds of fun, contagious stuff there. So this has been such a blessing. I cannot tell you. The products for me work better than anything the naturopath doctor put me on. And because I have a few people signed up under me, I don't actually have to pay for them technically. I take that Plexus wallet money I get and put it right back into my own products. I have several family members on it that have seen some really good results with this too. This year will be my 2nd convention I get to go to. I'm excited about that because it is just so positive and so much fun. And the other best thing is just truly all the friendships and all the positive relationships. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. It's pretty long if I went throughout the whole thing, but health-wise, honestly, I've never been this healthy ever in my life that I can remember. I was sick as a kid too all the time.
So wonderful.
That's my story.
That's so awesome. You guys, if you're just watching this video, checking us out, you haven't, tried the products yet even, I encourage you to do that. Get with the person that's shared Plexus with you. Try our products out. I didn't bring the products to show you the products here, but basically just wanted to share these stories with you. I'll explain a little tiny bit real quick about the products and kind of mix in my personal story to end us out, to close us out. But, the products, like I said, work together to help with gut health, inflammation, and blood sugar. And I started these products about 4.5 years ago. And when I started them, I mainly just wanted to lose weight. But I also had stalked my friend, Christine, her Facebook wall. She posted about Plexus, and I knew enough to know that it was helping with blood sugar too. And my husband is a type 1 diabetic, so he's been struggling with blood sugar all of our married life. He'd been a diabetic since he was 24. And so he would have crashes in the middle of the night and highs and lows. It was like a little roller coaster for him. And he had gained a lot of weight. He had high blood pressure. He had lots of sinus infections, allergies and stuff. And so just nothing was working. He would get a sinus infection and be on antibiotics for months. He'd have allergies so bad that nothing worked. Like he would do steroid shots, he'd do over the counter, he would do shots at the doctor's office, and he was still just a mess. And I had gained a lot of weight. I was not in a happy place mood-wise, was not really sleeping at night, thought that was just a normal mom thing. A lot of why I wasn't sleeping at night, though, was I was worried about my husband. So I do have a big heart out there for those of you that are watching for your husbands, because we want our dads of our kids to be around, right? And what we found when we finally decided to join Plexus, which it took me a while too, because I thought, well, I can't really afford it. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. My husband was on my case to go back to work. His baby was going to kindergarten. And he'd gone to kindergarten. It was like, come on, are you going to go get that job or not? And I didn't want to go back to my job. I was a dental hygienist. It was a great job, but it wasn't my passion. My passion's always been to help people, to talk to people, to build relationships. And so it wasn't fulfilling to me. And I wanted to continue to be home with our kids too. But I really didn't envision that for myself. Really, I joined for the products. And when I saw that the products were changing our health, my husband wasn't having the crashes in the middle of the night with his blood sugar. His blood sugar was being balanced, because our pink drink is a blood sugar balancer. It actually has ingredients, all natural, no artificial colors or flavoring, no artificial sweeteners. It's all natural, all plants that work together to help balance blood sugar. So I saw that my husband's blood sugars were improving. It was helping both of us with sugar cravings. We were big soda drinkers. And day 4, I didn't want Diet Coke anymore. I think Lori shared day 2, she didn't want her Diet Pepsi, and you think it was anymore. And so we had this tool, which was perfect for my husband who's diabetic, because diabetics want to eat right, but, it's a struggle, right? Well, he wasn't having those cravings. So it was a tool to help us both. We did lose weight. I lost 40 pounds. He lost 50. He doesn't have high blood pressure anymore pretty early on, like Lori. It's a gut health issue. A lot of reason why people have these different things is it is a matter of getting the gut healthy and the body balanced with blood sugar. A huge difference. And doesn't have the sinus infections anymore. Doesn't have the allergies. I think he's had 2 sinus infections in 4.5 years. And so when you have life-changing products, for me, it was just a no-brainer to go ahead and share that early on. And when I started sharing it, people wanted what I had. Everyone you talk to is sick or tired or both, or struggling with their mood, autoimmune stuff. Like, there's so many things that our products, help truly make a difference in. And so I saw that I had a gift, and I said, okay, I'm going to share this with as many people as I can. And so because I shared, other people in here have shared, and other people have changed their stories. And I can't tell you how much it warms my heart to know that I've played a small part in everyone on here's story. And thousands of people have changed their story. And so I'm just saying, like, it's a gift, and you should try it. See if it doesn't change your life. Again, we encourage you to get with the person that shared with you, and know that we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. The business opportunity is incredible. I think I mentioned before, my husband was on my case to go back to work the 8 to 5 job. And this has given our family freedom to where I don't have to work an 8 to 5 job. I never went back to work. I've been able to continue staying home with our kids. I'm an emerald in the company, which I mentioned earlier. That's a 6-figure income. I don't say that to brag. I say that to say our company has a ridiculously generous compensation plan, and that, if you're looking to make substantial income, Plexus is the place to do that. We have incredible life-changing products, and we're getting ready to go to our convention. Some of us mentioned that coming up. And at convention, they always are known to release at least one new product, maybe more. We're getting ready to go into hemp oil, which is going to really be incredible because, for one, the supplements are making incredible results for people, helping them with their different health issues. And so you combine supplements plus hemp oil, that is really going to open up a whole new world of being able to help people that are suffering. And so we're thankful that you joined us tonight, and we encourage you to look into Plexus, get with your friend, and let them know what you found valuable or what you found interesting tonight about hearing our stories. Bye, everybody.